Today, we're diving deep into the fundamental building blocks of life itself. We're going to explore the tissues that make up pretty much every living thing, and then see how we're using technology to actually engineer them. And it all kicks off with a kind of weird question.
Seriously, think about it. What could you, a complex human being, possibly have in common with a tough, fibrous coconut husk? It sounds like a riddle, but the answer is actually the key to understanding all complex life on our planet. The answer, believe it or not, is tissues. Both you and that coconut are made of them. Tissues are basically just teams of specialized cells that all work together to do one specific job. It's like the ultimate biological division of labor.
And right from the get-go, we see how this basic idea splits into two completely different strategies for life. Animals, like us, we're mobile. We move around. So our tissues are mostly living, energy-hungry cells, and our bodies grow in a pretty uniform way. Plants, on the other hand, are stationary. So to save energy, a lot of their tissues are actually dead cells used for support, and their growth is focused only in very specific places. Okay, so let's start with us, the animal body's toolkit. Our bodies are built using four main types of tissue. You can think of them as four specialized teams that all have to work together to keep the whole operation running.
So who are the key players on the field? They are epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissues. Each one has an absolutely critical and unique role to play in building our bodies.
First up is epithelial tissue. The easiest way to think about this stuff is as the body's armor. It's your skin, the lining of your mouth, basically any surface that faces the outside world. Its main job is protection, but it also handles secretion and absorption. Next on the team, we've got connective tissue. Now, if epithelial tissue is the outer armor, this is the internal scaffolding. It's the glue. Its entire purpose is to connect, support, and bind all the other tissues and organs together. And this is where it gets kind of mind-blowing, because this category is incredibly diverse. It can be a liquid, like blood. It can be flexible, like the cartilage in your nose and ears, or it can be rock solid, like bone. It also includes those super tough tendons and ligaments that wire our whole skeleton together. All right, our third team is muscular tissue. This is the engine room. It's made of these amazing fibers that are packed with special proteins that let them contract and pull. This is what generates every single movement your body makes. And we've got a couple of different kinds. There are the voluntary muscles we actually think about moving, like in our arms and legs. Then there are the involuntary ones that just work on their own, like the muscles that handle digestion. And then there's the heart, a totally unique cardiac muscle that just keeps its own rhythm day in and day out. And finally, we have nervous tissue. This is the body's high-speed internet, its communication network. It's made of neurons that are built to transmit signals at incredible speeds. This is what allows us to feel, think, and react to the world around us in a split second. Okay, so that's the animal playbook. Now let's switch gears and head over to the plant kingdom. They use the same basic idea of specialized tissues, but their organization is totally different. And to really get it, let's use an analogy. Think of a plant like a big corporation. So, inside this plant corporation, everything is divided into two major divisions, and it all comes down to one simple question. Can the cells divide or not? You have meristematic tissue, where cells are constantly dividing. This is the growth engine. And then you have permanent tissue, where the cells have stopped dividing and have settled into a specific, specialized job. And this really is the key idea. Once you start to see a plant as an organization, with different departments each handling a specific task, the whole structure just makes perfect sense. So here's the organizational chart. That meristematic tissue, that's your recruitment department, constantly hiring new cells. Those new cells then differentiate and join the specialized departments. Those are the permanent tissues. And then you have Xylem and Phloem, which act like the company's logistics and cafeteria, moving water and food all over the place. So let's peek into a few of those departments. You have sclerenchyma, which is made of dead cells that just provide raw strength. And yep, this is the tissue that makes up that coconut husk we talked about. Then in logistics, xylem is like a one-way elevator, only moving water up from the roots. But phloem is a two-way superhighway, moving food from the leaves down to the roots or up to the flowers wherever it's needed. Okay, so now that we get the basic blueprints for plants and animals, we can get to the really wild part. How we humans are starting to work with these building blocks, unlocking nature's potential through something called biotechnology. So what exactly is biotechnology? Well, at its heart, it's just us using technology to make improvements in living things, plants, animals, microbes, to make our lives better, whether that means more food, better medicine, or new materials.
One of the most powerful tools in plant biotech is called tissue culture. It works like this. You take a tiny piece of a plant, put it in a special nutrient gel, and those cells start multiplying. This is possible because of an incredible plant superpower called totipotency. It means that almost any single cell has the entire genetic blueprint to grow into a whole new plant. And this is way more than just a cool science experiment. This technology has jumped from the lab straight to the farm, and it is having a huge impact on agriculture all around the world. The sheer scale of this is amazing. From just one little piece of a parent plant, scientists can produce thousands of identical, perfectly healthy, disease-free baby plants in just a short amount of time. It's a game changer.
And we can even go a step further and create genetically modified, or GM, crops. For example, there's BT cotton, which is engineered to produce its own insecticide. There's golden rice, which is packed with vitamin A to help fight malnutrition. And there is even a potato called amphlora, designed specifically to produce a special kind of starch for industrial uses. You know, this deeper understanding of biology doesn't just create brand new technologies, it also makes traditional practices way more effective. Our modern knowledge improves everything from raising cattle and chickens to the incredibly delicate art of sericulture. That's raising silkworms to produce silk. So, we've journeyed all the way from the simple definition of a tissue to the incredible reality of engineering life itself. We've learned how to read the instruction manual for plants and use it to create crops that can feed more people and survive disease. Which leaves us with one big question. What's next? What is the next frontier for these amazing building blocks of life?